time, say what time it is by looking at the clock, or what day or month or year it is. But time, as we know, is more than that. From a sort of a philosophical or physics point of view, time is a fundamental factor, fundamental element that makes up reality along with space. So space and time, as we know, are the basic elements of our cosmic existence. The existence of this entire universe can be divided as the past, the present, and the future. So time itself is more than seeing the clock or a calendar. It's something beyond that we can ever, that's beyond us, that makes this whole universe going. But no matter how much we may know about time, we have reflected, philosophers and scientists have written about time. And though we try to manage it, we all try to manage time. Some of us are better than some of us, like me. But it is also true that we do not have complete control over time. We cannot control the past, for instance. We cannot change the past. We cannot go back to the past. We can only see it. We can only remember it. But we have no control over it. And similarly, we also cannot really control the future. We can shape the future perhaps, but we can't control the future. We do not know the future, at least for sure. 100 years ago, people thought that the world would be a better place. We are in this evolutionary sort of a track, progressivists in the end of the 19th century thought that, we are just getting better and better and better. Life is getting better. Scientific advancements are being made. Everything's just going to be perfect. All the bad things are going to go away. And life is just going to be a bliss. But we know that that's certainly not true. Right? Sometimes we actually look back and long for those good old days and say, oh, that was much better. But we do not really know. We can't predict time. We can't predict the future. Perhaps this is why we have always fantasized about time machines, right? It's always a fantasy among, scientists and others, how to control time, or at least how to go back and forth in time. What we then have is the fact that the reality is in the present, the reality of the present. Only the present time is real and a fact. It is what we choose to do now. It is what we do at this time, in this moment, that matters. In the second lesson we heard this morning, the letter to the Philippians, St. Paul reminds us of this great truth in a more theological language. Since Paul was a well-educated person, he obviously would have known much about Greek philosophy and science. So some of those ideas about time and space, Paul would have already known. So it's not that he's an ignorant person simply talking in a religious language. So he's actually kind of bringing together philosophy and science and theology together.